Let's take a dipstick test of well and truly political season at the culmination stage of just 2 weeks and less before the first vote is cast. Narendra Modi, India's Prime Minister and the principal campaigner for the Bharatiya Janata Party, well, he's had another Sunday blitz. He's been in Bengal, he's been in Bihar, and now he's in Madhya Pradesh, in Jabalpur, believe it or not, in the scope of less than 10 hours. As we speak, Rahul Gandhi, meanwhile, has been asking people online to share feedback on the recently published Congress manifesto. There is a fight on over that as well. Let's open up this conversation quickly. Nikhil Prasun joining us of the BJP, Meeta Chakrabarti representing the Congress, Manav Jaiswal of the TMC, Syed Asad Abbas joining us, Chandni Shah and Nikhil Jain will also be joining us through the course of the conversation. Nikhil, let me bring it back to you. What phase of the campaign is this now?
Rishabh, I think this is that part of the campaign where the BJP has kickstarted its rallies and everything, but yet is to place a manifesto before the people of the country, and they're saying that the BJP manifesto is supposed to come out sometime around the 16th of April or the 17th of April, just 2 days before the polling for the first phase begins. While the Congress has already come out with a very clear and nice set manifesto, walking the talk on all the points that they've been talking about, whether it's rising unemployment, inflation, economic mismanagement, misuse of agencies, democracy under threat, persecution of minorities, lack of federal structure, and things like that. While the BJP is offering no credible, vision plan to the people of India, other than the very far-sighted 2047 Viksit Bharat, 1000 saal baad ye, 100 saal baad ye, while the Congress is giving something tangible that the voters can measure at the end of the 5 years, whether the government has been successful or not. And on the other hand, one problem I have with the Election Commission is that why are they not clamping down on Narendra Modi and the BJP for calling it a manifesto of the Muslim League? Like, there isn't even a mention of the word Muslim. I don't know how the Prime Minister is going around making those, pedestrian jibes at the Congress.
Well, he can, and to say that the BJP's got nothing to campaign on, the Congress has the plan, and Modi doesn't have the plan. Okay, all right. So let's get the BJP spokesperson, who's also Nikhil Prasunji. Now, we've seen Nevada, we've seen Jalpaiguri, we are seeing Jabalpur. How much of this in the last few days before the first phase votes is just about mobilizing voters? Because the issues are pretty much decided. I mean, which photograph from which Thailand was published where, I mean, that really doesn't matter in the larger scheme of things. What's the issue as we see it now? Okay, I don't think Nikhilji can hear us. We'll try to get him into this conversation as we can. Let me get Chandni Shah meanwhile on that. Chandni, what's the now sum in total? Where are we now? Is it about Narendra Modi? Is it a referendum on Narendra Modi? Is it Modi versus Rahul? Is it about Modi guarantee? Is it about manifestos? What's the baseline that has now been set for this election? Okay, for the push comes to shove when technology fails you. Okay, now Chandni ji can't hear us, but I'm told Nikhil ji can. Nikhil ji, welcome to the telecast. What is now the baseline for the campaign, sir? Kahan pahunche hain? Where have we set the benchmark? Is it about manifestos? Is it about the Modi guarantee? Or is it simply about you now mobilizing people in the constituencies that are still close calls?
Well, actually, this is all about Modi magic. And we are fighting these elections on 3 planks. One is Modi, second is Modi, and the third one is also Modi. The blitzkrieg unleashed by Honorable Prime Minister knows no bounds. He is crisscrossing the country from one region to the other, from one state to the other, simply because he is getting energy from crores of his family members, his countrymen, and therefore he is breaking his own records. He is toiling. He is, communicating with the people, communicating with the voters, and he is confident simply because of the fact that he has delivered tremendously, and because of several, I think, the achievements of NDA, achievements of government in last 10 years, something.
Okay, so Nikhilji, straight question on all the big ticket items, on Ram Mandir or 370 or the guarantee or the houses or the Ujjwala and the Awas Yojana. Is everything done down to CAA? Yeah. Or is there anything else left in the yet to be seen finalized manifesto?
Well, our manifesto document for 2047. Mr. Modi dreams that we should be a developed country by 2047. We are going to get ourselves catapulted to the status of third largest economy. In the coming days, he's going to go, much more harsher against the menace of corruption. There is still, there are certain societal evils which are still the residues of the, Congress ill governance for last 70 years. We have to get rid of that. And there are, I think, transformational changes in the field of manufacturing, like, for example, there's chips and, various other defense exports, and the youth power that is still required to be unleashed to the optimum extent, and that is going to, the power
so
of India.
You are saying it's Narendra
Committee of
Modi.
Nations
That's the man with the plan. Okay, let me get Meeta Chakrabarti of the Congress in. Meeta ji, as I mentioned, you've just seen a rally in Jalpaiguri. We're seeing one in Jabalpur. Before that in Nevada. Is your party off to a good start at a point of time when, there is still hesitance? We don't know what's happening in Raebareli. We don't know what's happening in Amethi. Are you sorted, focused, and good to go?
Of course, we are sorted, and good evening to all your viewers and good evening to the fellow co-panelists as well. Now, when Congress talks about its Nyaya Patra or Congress manifesto, we are talking about specific issues here. We are not just giving rhetorics. We know that during the UPA time, the average GDP growth rate in our country was 6.7%. During the past 10 years, the average GDP growth rate is 5.7%, and this is government's data. We know what the unemployment rate is and what the unemployment rate is among the educated youth. We know about price rise. We know about how insecure the women are feeling. We know about social justice. We know as how different institutes are losing their independence. And when we talk about a manifesto, we come up with very specific measures as what we are going to do to increase the employment. We talk about giving 30 lakh Sarkari central government jobs. We talk about funding the startups. We talk about specific measures that we will take because lakhs of SMEs, small to medium-sized enterprises, have shut down in this country in the past 10 years.
Okay.
And we talk about as how we are going to strengthen the economy of this country. We talk about the fact that there are 2 farmers who are committing suicide every single hour in India and how we are going to give some relief to the farmers.
Okay.
So when we talk about social justice, about economic justice, as how we are going to bring down the economic inequality that is prevailing in this country, it's a fact that India now ranks at 111th position in the World Global Hunger Index out of 125 countries, which is a cause of major concern and shame to the country.
Okay.
So when we are talking as how we are going to bring justice and equality in this country.
Okay, very, very happy to see, ma'am. Obviously, we've been discussing.
Give me 30 more seconds to complete. Our Prime Minister comes up and says this is the manifesto of Muslim League. Because he can only talk about polarization. He can only talk about religious polarization. That is his trump card and he's sticking to it. He has not picked up. I wonder whether he has actually gone through the manifesto. It's a 48-page long manifesto. I would have really liked it had the Prime Minister come and engage.
All right,
with
very happy to hear that there is a plan. Okay, at least it
manifesto.
gives us a point of conversation. So it's good to have a plan versus winging it.
He
So it's good to
does
have a
not
plan.
come up with
We've
no
obviously been
plan or
discussing this for the past 2 days. Okay, but
he
since you,
comes up with
but
just with a criticism that it's Muslim League manifesto.
okay, so let me then ask you a follow-up question since you mentioned it. What is the intention of the Congress party? Since you are saying you're very clear and focused, when you say you are going to lift the 50% cap on reservations, so what? It will be 100%, 75%, 93%. What's the top limit?
Our manifesto clearly talks about that we will do a caste-based census. We need to first have data before we take any informed decision. The first step is calculating the data. Getting the data. We still have not seen the results published after 2011. There has been no proper census.
Okay. So you want everybody, including you and me, you want everybody, including you and me, to face a census and discuss our caste.
To face a census, there is a census that happens every 10 years. Now, due to COVID, there could not be a census before, but COVID is now long gone.
All right. So we all need to remind ourselves of what our caste is. Okay, in a future Congress government. Okay, all right.
Equal representation from different castes and communities.
Fair enough.
There has to be social justice.
Fair enough. If one were to do it, the best way to do it is the census. Fair enough. Okay. What about reservations on the basis of community, in the basis of religion?
So in our manifesto, we have clearly said that we want to give proportional representation to all communities and to all castes. But the first step has to be a caste-based census. It has
So
not talked
yes,
about
a
a
future
specific
Congress government would.
percentage representation to specific communities. It has not done that.
Okay,
We have spoken
so a future
as how
Congress
we are
government
going to
would
delegate
want
new
reservation on the basis of religion as well.
So so whenever we are talking about representation, it includes linguistic
fair enough.
identity, it includes communities, it includes religious identity
Okay,
as
fair
well.
enough. All right, we heard from the BJP, we heard from the Congress. Let's get Manav in from the TMC. Sort of allies, but not necessarily in an agreement on a seat deal in Bengal, but working together in some respects with the Congress. Manav, this is obviously a more generalized conversation because we've been discussing the Congress manifesto. How is the campaign now going? Because the TMC has a state of focus, unlike the BJP and the Congress. Have you gotten a clarity of what your definition is, what you're bringing to the table for the Lok Sabha elections to the Bengali people?
First of all, namaskar to the nation. Rishabh, see, I was listening to Dr. When I was listening to him, I got some word, like Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi, the Prime Minister of the country, will come really harsh on the corruption people, corrupt people. Yeah, it's so harsh, like almost the entire enforcement directorate has become an extortion department. Yeah, he has become very harsh. When you talk about electoral bonds, which is actually an extortion bond, which has been proven by SBI declaration itself. Yeah, he is really harsh about crime, criminality, corruption. Every corrupt leader who was till yesterday corrupt becomes the minister when he goes to the Bhrastachari Jumla party. He is really harsh on people like Ajit Pawar, Hemant Vishwa Sharma, people like, when you talk about recently Praful Patel, where the 840 crores of corruption scam, apparently, he has become free. So we have to understand the whole country is trying to, introspect whether the people were criminal or corrupt or there was corruption which BJP has taken it over.
Okay, all right.
So
I know, obviously, I respectfully, Mr. Jaiswal, obviously, whatever question I'll ask, you'll give me the answer that you want to give. But my question was genuinely that as you go, this is different from a state election in which you won 3 times in a row. When you go to the people for a national election to ask them to send members of parliament from your party, what's the issue? The issue is simply that Narendra Modi is not good for the country, so vote for us?
Now see, Rishabh, you have to understand. We just did not win last 3 terms, We won on the thumping majority. The only government which had pro-incumbency when we went to people, and today when we are going in 2024, there are a lot of things which is on the platter. The people of Bengal, be it any community, be it Bengali, be it Hindi-speaking, be it minorities, any community which you come in together, the foremost strength is every community is pitching in for the betterment of Bengal and the country at large. What we have given the women power, we have given employment, we have given the social justice to the people of Bengal. We have brought in a lot of other, franchise like being proper health care, child care. You're talking about the education system. The whole Bengal is working on a different parallel altogether.
Okay.
We had lost 40 good years of Bengal.
Okay, so Mr. Jaiswal, okay, so no, there is no denying that the TMC, your party in your state, has been on a strong wicket for a long period of time, and many credits to Mamata Banerjee for dislodging the left rule. It wasn't an easy thing to do. Very difficult. She left the Congress, fought lot of ugly things that were happening under the left rule, and did a service to the people by at least eliminating that. Rest, of course, is up to the people. But according to you then, sir, what's the single biggest issue in this election for the party? Is it about the track record of Mamata Banerjee? Is the track record of Narendra Modi? Do you think it's the track record or the promises that have come from the Congress? Do you agree with their manifesto? What's the biggest issue?
Well, first of all, I should congratulate for the manifesto to the Congress people. They're actually doing something at the moment. When you talk about Bengal going on election in 2024, it's not only Bengal. Today, it is the entire country which is anti-BJP now. So the war of today's election is not any political party fighting against Bhajpa. The Bhrastachari Jumla Party is actually fighting the people of the country. Today, the fight is all about saving and preserving the democracy, the sanctity of the federalism, the sanctity of every individual rights, the sanctity of every statehood, because we are union of states. We are not just just one block of country. We are just union of states bringing in and developing the country at large. Every individual, every people from every state with every language that they speak.
So it is a substantive democratic.
Is the country is Desh versus Bhajpa.
Okay, so it's for you it's a substantive, structural, democratic establishment sort of primary core issue. There are other issues, of course, but there's a structural issue. Okay, let's get a perspective in from Mr. Abbas. Mr. Abbas, what then becomes the core issue? Because it seems that the BJP has gotten off to a faster start. They've had their issues sorted, their slogans sorted. Whether you agree whether there should be a manifesto or not manifesto, you're seeing Narendra Modi going from place to place very rapidly in the course of a day. A lot of mobilization is taking place, and the BJP is good at it. They are good at this election organization. Does it seem that the opposition has also gotten its game better this time around?
I truly believe, Rishabh Saab, that the Bharatiya Janata Party, especially many of their leaders saying that this is, with respect to the manifesto of Congress, it's like a Congress Muslim League manifesto, which is absolutely wrong. It is uncalled for. I'm sure the election running machinery of Bharatiya Janata Party undoubtedly is well prepared. No doubt about it. They're in 24/7 election mode with the call of the Model Code of Conduct. But calling another party as appeasement politics and so on and so forth is not required. The fact is, I feel the BJP is rattled. They're rattled of the undercurrent which the mandate might bring in. Same reason why Enforcement Directorate people are losing faith on it. Let me just quickly give you statistics. 25 leaders of the opposition have jumped ship. Those tainted netas, the corrupt netas, 25 from different parties to Bharatiya Janata Party. Not just back in the day when NDA blamed that UPA is using these agencies, BJP is a party with a difference. They're doing the same. 54% was what opposition leaders.
But Sayyid, what is rattling them? What is rattling them? Because when it comes to the opposition, it's still the same Rahul Gandhi. It's still the same people. I mean, they've done better than even better. So what is rattling them? Why should they feel that the opposition is something to be more fearful about this time?
If the Bharatiya Janata Party wasn't rattled, they wouldn't be going ahead with freezing the accounts of the second largest party, which is the Congress Party. They won't really put the Aam Aadmi Party leaders into arrest. What does it define? If you really want to beat a political party, beat them on ground. Beat them on the people's mandate. Beat them on the opinion of the courts of the people, which they stand for. But doing these things...
so you feel they are rattled, but we don't know exactly why they are rattled. Let me ask Chandni Shah on this. Chandni ji, now, what is your assessment? We're about 12 days away from the first vote being cast. It's not a long time now. Okay, who's got their act together? In Amethi, Raebareli, it doesn't seem like the Congress has got their act together. In terms of manifesto and certain deals in Delhi and UP, it does seem like they've got their act a bit better this time than certainly 5 years ago and certainly 10 years ago. The BJP has got its main man out there and he's going all over the country, which of course he's going to have to do. Who seems to be carrying momentum?
So Rishabh, you can just see that the Congress is so afraid to even contest from Raebareli and Amethi that, Rahul Gandhi has just run away. And I would say he has just run away. He would rather put Ajay Rai in front of, Mr. Modi, and he would go to Wayanad and he would not even stand from Amethi or Raebareli. So this actually shows where the Congress is going and how fearful they are. Okay, and I would like to, before addressing this, let's get some facts today correct with all the people over here, that even after 76 years of independence, by until 2015, only 44% of the households had a water facility inside their houses. This is not me, this is the World Bank report that says that after 2015 till date, 97.7% population has gotten the water facility.
Okay, so let me cut through this for a reason. And the reason is that yes, India was a poor country. Yes, we have gotten a lot of things right. And yes, certainly in 10 years, many things that I felt could have never have been done, I've seen them done. but that doesn't necessarily mean that the person who got the water tap and the Ujjwala connection and the house becomes a BJP voter.
No, that would not. I'm talking about what does BJP do for the people of India? It's not like they would say in their manifestos that we would remove what Congress has done. We would not continue with what Congress has done. BJP has not done that. BJP might have done it with a couple of things, but not everything that Congress
so what
has done,
according to you what's the single biggest issue for you in this election? Last time around, the issue for the Congress was Rafael and Chaukidar Chor hai, and for the BJP it was 5 more years. What's the single biggest issue this time?
I guess the single big issue this time is breaking the narrative of the alliance, the INDI alliance. Like Ms. Smita just said that Modi believes in polarization. I would like to actually break that myth with some facts, if you allow me like 30 seconds. When I was talking about the what Modi has done yesterday, also I said in your debate that after 2014, there are around 2 million skilled laborers that are there, trained laborers that are there, which comes under the minority. Out of them, 10% are there in government job. 5 crore of students are getting scholarships. Out of them, 50% are girls. 70% girls dropout rate, it was before 2014. Now it has come down to 30%.
Okay.
14.2% of, just allow me 1 minute. 14.2% population identifies themselves as Muslim. 36% of them have benefited from the Mudra Yojana. 31.3% have benefited from PM Awas Yojana. 33% have benefited from under Kisan Samman Nidhi.
Yes,
I asked
yes.
you,
So we've heard this from the Prime Minister in Parliament, and he has said that this is the new secularism. That, of course, then is on test. Does a minority or an OBC, do they want special privileges on the basis of a caste census, or do they want exactly what everybody else wants, a house, dignity, a job, and other things? Nikhil Jain, quick thought for you. What is the biggest, now 10 days to go, what's the biggest issue right now? Is it Kejriwal? Is it about federalism? Is it Narendra Modi? Is it about guarantees, about manifesto? What's the biggest thing that's sticking in your mind?
Rishabh, I think the biggest issue is where we are headed as a country, whether it is the rising communalism in the country, whether it is the economic mismanagement, whether it is a threat to the democracy. A lot of people, I'm sure there are other people in the panel who have come across people like that, who are Kattar Modi Samarthaks, who are Kattar BJP Samarthaks, but will not vote for the BJP or Modi this time around, because they do feel that what this government is doing in terms of elections and the unlevel playing field, that is not done. That is not how a democracy.
So you are saying economic mismanagement and democracy has done, everything has gone wrong. Others might disagree. Nikhil Prasun, what's the biggest issue? Is this a referendum on Narendra Modi's governance and a vote about his guarantee? Is that the only issue, or are there other issues?
Well, look, Mr. Modi has, improved the life of each and every individual in this country. He has improved, he has touched the heart of everyone. The improvement in the lives of Kisans, youths, and everyone across the board. The way he has delivered, the Mudra loans, the Ujjwala Yojana, the tap connections, the Saubhagya Yojana, the scrapping of Article 370, Ram Mandir, everything under the sun. He has touched the life of each and every individual of this country and community as such. Now, that is going to get reflected in the vote pattern.
Okay.
Number two, the Congress and other opposition parties, they are always on a divisive agenda and a negative agenda. They have tried to belittle the
achievements of Mr. Modi. It's the touch points and the delivery. It's the delivery touch points.
Narrative. There is only one issue. That is whether Mr. Modi will be able to cross 400 or he will be crossing 450.
Okay, it is a delivery. Mathematics is very unforgiving, sir. It's very unforgiving.
Of Mr. Modi.
But nonetheless, it's a touch point issue for you. Yes, we've calculated 2.7 billion touch points if we put all the screens together. But does that necessarily mean all the votes? We don't know. Meeta Chakrabarti, what's the biggest issue for you in this election?
The biggest issue in this election will be unemployment, price rise, killing democracy in the country. As you can see, just months before the general election, the highest election in this country, the bank accounts get frozen, 2 sitting chief ministers get arrested, I mean, this is not the time to actually, and 95% of the cases of ED, CBI, income tax are directed against the opposition leaders. The moment the opposition leader goes over, crosses over to
unemployment
BJP,
number one,
they
but
go through a BJP's washing machine and they are given a clean check.
Unemployment
So
number
mainly
one,
unemployment, price rise, death of democracy in India.
Death of democracy at number 3.
The constitutional value and secularism.
Manav Jaiswal, your biggest issue for this election. 10 days to go.
The biggest issue is like this. BJP is not even in wildest dream, they are crossing 400. BJP is not in the wildest dream, is forming the government. BJP, under the guidance of Shri Modi ji, the Jumla king of the country, are not even crossing 210. So let's be very much clear. My friend, Mr. Prasan, is so optimistic, so overexcited, and the kind of lethargy this government has shown in the last few years is proven enough.
The BJP should not underestimate the opposition, but the opposition should not underestimate Narendra Modi, who's never lost an election till now. He's always surprised on the upside. We don't know. Quick thought, Syed Abbas, your biggest issue for this election?
The 2 crore jobs, I'd certainly like to ask the BJP spokesperson what happened to the 2 crore jobs every year. That way, 10 years, 20 crore jobs. Do you have any scientific proof of 20 crore jobs or any material, any data? So, jumlebazi band karo.
Jobs. Okay, I'm going to stop it at jobs. Okay, I'm stopped. Thankfully that all of us sitting here are gainfully employed. So there are some jobs in the country for sure. I've run short of time. I need to take a break. This is going to be a never-ending conversation. So we heard a lot of perspectives today. What I wanted to get was a flavor of where is the momentum, what's the biggest issue, what's the topic, what do we think this election is about? It seems to be that this is a sort of a referendum on whether the Narendra Modi's government has done enough and promises to do more, and whether the other team has a better plan. I don't know yet. We'll find out.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.